Welcome to my channel. My name is Shelby. I am going to be chatting today about all of the things that I didn't know or didn't realize were as kind of intense as they are with a new puppy. Yeah, so I've just got 10 things today that I wanted to share with you that I feel like I didn't know or fully understand before getting a puppy. He's actually in the room today. He's supposed to be napping, but he's struggling with wanting to nap. So let's just get right into it. We'll see how many interruptions we get. I've got my treats here because I'm trying to encourage him to go nap in his bed, but we will see what happens. Okay, number 1. Speaking of naps, that they need to be forced or coerced into napping. So puppies are supposed to sleep like 18, 20 hours a day. Fox does not want to sleep at all, ever. So forcing them, especially when he was little, but forcing him to take naps. So he would be up for like a couple of hours and like in his mind, he would never go back to sleep if it was up to him. But they need to sleep. So making him take a nap. I never would have thought, I would have thought like, oh, like he's a dog. He'll get up, he'll play, he'll nap when he wants to. But when we first brought him home, we had to make sure that he was taking naps, either in his crate or in the car or wherever. So it was just something that I wasn't quite, I think, prepared for, like making sure that he's sleeping enough. Number 2, the amount of food choices there are in the puppy dog world and the amount of stress that you will encounter when choosing these foods. So he came on one food from his breeder and we really wanted to try and stick to that at least for a little bit. But he didn't like it. I didn't realize how picky he was gonna be. He didn't want to eat it. He barely ate for like days. So I did a bunch of research, realized how many choices there are out there, picked a food I was absolutely in love with. We transitioned over onto it. A couple weeks went by, he was having terrible diarrhea. So the vet recommended, let's switch him over to like a puppy gastro-friendly food, see if that resolves it. He's been on that for about a week now and his poops are getting so much better. So after all my research, finally finding a food that he liked, that I liked, his stomach couldn't tolerate it. So here we are, back on the food hunt. I just can't believe how much thought I've had to put into feeding this dog, and that wasn't something I expected or was aware of going into puppy parenthood. Okay, number 3. I probably shouldn't count because I'm probably gonna lose count. Just how smart they are. So I knew dogs are smart. Obviously dogs are smart, and he's a golden retriever. I also knew that. Like we chose a golden retriever because we wanted like a smart dog. He's so unbelievably smart. It's almost a fault. Great for training, but it's hard sometimes, I think, to keep him stimulated enough. So I'm always trying to like find different things for him to do. We're always working on training. I'm always taking him to new places, meeting new people, meeting new dogs, but it's almost too, like it's just a lot of work because he is so smart. And I wasn't, I think, quite expecting that much intelligence to be in there. Okay, potty training regression. So first, I didn't think potty training would go as well as it did. He was so good. He picked it up so fast. Like it was amazing. Within a week, he'd maybe had a couple accidents and then he was asking to go out. He's like 9 weeks old and he was asking to go outside. He was mostly only pottying outside. He'd had very, very few accidents. And then last week, for like 2 days in a row, pooped in the house, peed in the house. He had 3 accidents in 2 days after 6-7 weeks of no accidents. I was very frustrated because I was so happy with him. He was finally like kind of starting to gain freedom when we were here. And then all of a sudden I'd like lost all trust in him. I didn't want to give him any freedom. We had to go backwards. We were going back to like how we were taking him out on a schedule, not trusting him to ask. And I looked it up and it is a thing, potty training regression, but it was about a week ago. We seem to be back on track. We had an awesome, I'm going to post it up here because I think anyone that's thinking about getting a puppy needs this tool. It's like a carpet cleaner tool. So we have no stains. Our carpet's like a white carpet, but it's great. It came out really easy. You need this. How exhausting they are. And not just in the fact that when we first got him, we were having to wake up quite frequently. Like now we're sleeping through the night. I'm sleeping fine. I'm sleeping better than when we first got him. But just during the day, it's exhausting. I'm focused on him all day long when he's awake. Making sure he's not eating something he's not supposed to. He's not destroying a piece of furniture that he's not supposed to. He's not chewing on the doors or the walls or pooping on the floor. Just the amount of focus and energy he takes when he's awake. I think it was a lot more than I was expecting. I think in my head, I was totally ready for him to be a high energy dog, and I was ready to exercise him and stimulate him and do all those things. But when I've done all of those things, he's been for a long walk, he's had some training, he's had a game with his food, and he still is chewing on the couch, or he's still tormenting me, or he's still not wanting to take a nap. That part's just exhausting. I think I expected that he would maybe sleep a little bit more and I'd have a little bit more breaks. So yeah, just not something I think I quite was expecting, to be so emotionally exhausted every day. I'm not physically exhausted, like I said, I'm sleeping, but just emotionally exhausted from working with him every single day. On to the next one. How much they're like babies. How much you have to monitor how much they're eating. You have to make sure that they're taking naps appropriately. Sticking to a schedule. Like he really likes a schedule, getting up around the same time, going for a walk, feeding him around the same time. I've noticed the more I can stick to a schedule with him, the better behaved he is throughout the day, and the better he sleeps at night, and the better his training sessions go, and the better he eats. But yeah, just like how much they're like a baby. I think babies, this stage and this difficulty and this exhaustion lasts way longer. Like I know in a year or so from now, he's gonna probably be a great dog. Getting all his exercise, he's gonna probably be more well behaved, not take as much focus, not keep chewing on my couch or digging holes in my couch. His favorite thing right now is to dig a hole at the back of the couch and try and get underneath the cushion. And I know like this right here, look at this. He's not supposed to get up like this. Off. Oh yes, good boy. Good boy. Where was I? Along with the baby point and all this attention and focus point, how housebound, I shouldn't even say housebound, how puppy bound we've been. So making sure we're choosing puppy friendly things if we're gonna go out and do things and bring him with us. Being stuck at the house with him, not having as much freedom to just kind of go do whatever we want to do whenever we want to do it. Having to think about, can the dog come? Is it too long of a period for him to be left alone? Just things like that. So he's been struggling a little bit lately with his crate. When we first got him, he was doing so well in his crate, but now he's struggling with barking when we leave him alone in there. We can leave him alone kind of on other floors, like in a room or on the floor, like on the main floor of our house, but I don't really trust him in those spaces yet. So we're trying not to leave him alone too much. We're working on his crate training. How many choices we're making though regarding whether he can come with us or whether it's too long to be away from the house, just how housebound, how puppy bound we've been. Like he goes everywhere with us, which is great for him. He's getting tons of socialization, but it's just been a lot more than I think I realized it was going to be. Okay, I have no idea where we're at. I don't know how many points I've made, but one thing that I had no idea that this was a thing with puppies, and now that I've had him, everyone mentions it to me. Why we don't talk about it, I don't know. But witching hour. So he can be so good. He's doing great with his training. He's not puppy biting. He's not doing anything like that. He's having such a great day, being so well behaved. He's gone for lots of walks. He's had lots of stimulation. He's had his good naps. 7:30 comes around. It's like all training goes out the window. He's jumping up at us. His puppy biting is in like full steam ahead. He is teething right now. So I think that that could be part of it, that his little teeth are starting to hurt at night. But like 7:30, almost on the dot every single night. I'm like, this is just his bad time of night. We try to go for a walk and he's like chewing on his leash, which he normally doesn't do. He's jumping up at us, jumping up our legs, jumping up at everything. And it's just so funny that like, it's like clockwork. I'll be like, oh, like, why is he being so bad right now? And then I'll look at my clock and oh, it's because it's 7:30. Like, this is just the time of night that we all just try to cope. And then the next morning, he's nice, pleasant, perfect puppy again. I don't know what it is about that time of night, but I had no idea that that was a thing. The next thing that I don't think I was prepared to feel as much as I have been is puppy mom guilt. So just like, I don't know, you go into having a puppy. I feel like this is the same with kids. You go into having it with a kid and you have like this list of things. You're like, I'm never gonna do this. I'm never gonna do that. I'm gonna teach them to do this. There's so many things that was on my list of things I was never gonna do and I was gonna teach him to do that have not happened. Some days I'm just trying to get through the day and not kill him. Especially now that we're kind of into teething and the puppy biting. The puppy biting is so intense. There was definitely days that I'm like, I don't even like you. I don't even understand. Like, I don't want you. But it just like, I just can't believe how guilty I feel sometimes. I was telling Adam the other day, I was like, oh, like, this is my fault. I should have been more focused on his crate training. Like, he's not doing as great in the crate now. And I'm like, I feel like it's my fault. I wasn't putting him in the crate enough. I wasn't leaving him in there long enough. I wasn't working on it enough every single day. I wasn't focused enough on it. Even though like he was sleeping in the crate almost every single night, I was trying to focus on it. I just didn't have enough hours in the day to do everything that I wanted to do with him, and also keep my house clean, cook meals, exercise, take care of myself, take care of my husband, take care of our house. So just, I don't think I expected to have as much puppy mom guilt as I do. And this list of rules and expectations for myself that I haven't been able to fulfill to the fullest. Yeah, I just don't think I was completely expecting that. So that was something that coming into having a puppy, I didn't know would be so intense. How much I can hate him and how much I love him all at the same time. So I don't think people talk about puppy biting enough and how intense it can be and how frustrating it can be. So I'm not getting chewed on as much. Sometimes he's teething. So like there's definitely still some biting, mostly on like more clothes, the couch, blankets more so now, but not on like our skin as much. So like we're getting there. It's getting better. But it still happens, and just how frustrating it can be and how painful it is. People act like, oh, like that's so cute. And I'm like, it's not cute. His teeth are so sharp. It hurts. But just how frustrating it can be, and how much in those moments I could hate him and not want him and be so frustrated and just be like, I don't know why we got a puppy. I don't want one. We need to return him. But then like 10 seconds later, I'm so in love with him. He completes our family. There's no way, like I can't imagine our life without him now. And I would say that's how I feel most of the time. But just like how much I am in love with this dog that I've known for like 2 months. I am a crazy person, and there's so many days, like he's 4 months old, that I cry about the day that he's gonna die one day. Like it's just so sad. And my husband looks at me like, oh my goodness. Like there's been times, so I was in the car the other day watching this video, of course, about a puppy or a dog that had died. And he's just in the bathroom. I'm sitting in the car waiting for him to come out. And he comes out and I'm bawling, like tears pouring down my face, bawling about this dog. And about the one day Fox is gonna die. And he's like, oh my goodness, you are crazy. Anyways, just I can't believe how much I'm in love with him and how much he's enriched our lives, how happy I am that we have him. But then how many times a day I can be like, nah, I don't want this dog anymore. Take him back. So that's just something to expect when you get a puppy. Yeah, so that's kind of all that I wanted to talk about. I don't know why I felt like I was like, you know what? I'm feeling this way. I feel like other people that have puppies can relate to me and maybe need to hear it from someone else that you're doing a great job. You are getting through it. they're like a baby, except for not. Yeah, so I just wanted to share kind of all the things that I wish I'd known before getting a puppy, and hopefully it can be helpful to someone else that's either looking at getting a puppy or has a puppy in those first few months and is feeling some of the same things I'm feeling, is feeling some of the stress that comes with having a puppy. Yeah, so that's it for this video. If you could hit that subscribe button down below, I would love if you could also comment any video requests, if anyone else has gotten a new puppy, I would love to hear how you're handling it. Yeah, so comment down below, hit that subscribe button, join me every week here. I am trying to post weekly. I go back to work in a couple of weeks here, so hopefully that can still keep up. But yeah, I would love to hear from you, and thanks for watching.